Meanwhile, North Korea has reacted to the UN's new sanctions with its trademark defiance and aggressive rhetoric. It said there will be no negotiations on its nuclear weapons program and that it will retaliate against the United States. Kwon Jang-ho has this report.
North Korea has vowed to continue its nuclear program in the face of the latest UN sanctions. In statements released on its state media outlets on Monday and Tuesday, Pyongyang slammed the new UN resolution, describing it as a criminal and illegal document led by the US. It called its nuclear program a self-defense measure against the US hostility, adding that it would never be something that they put on the negotiation table. The regime also vowed retaliation against Washington, specifying that the US mainland is no longer a safe haven despite being on the other side of the Pacific Ocean. This is in reference to the recent ICBM tests, which Pyongyang claims can now reach the US. Several statements also took aim at South Korea, accusing Seoul of being a dog of the US and that its support of the sanctions was a betrayal of their compatriots. It also said it showed Seoul's intentions for dialogue were just hot air and threatened that Seoul would lose the opportunity to deal with the regime if it continued following this path. Pyongyang's foreign minister is said to have repeated the regime's sentiments during a meeting with his regional counterparts at the ASEAN Forum on Monday, according to the delegation's spokesperson.
We have explained that unless the U.S. stops its hostility and nuclear threat towards North Korea, our nuclear and ballistic missile program will never be up for negotiation. We will never yield in the path that we have chosen to strengthen our nuclear capability.
Seoul's foreign ministry has urged North Korea to take the path of denuclearization, adding that more sanctions would be forthcoming if it didn't cease its provocations. The Unification Ministry also said on Tuesday that they're currently looking into what further unilateral sanctions they can impose as well. However, Seoul stressed it will continue to seek a diplomatic solution despite the mounting challenges. Kwon Jang-ho, Arirang News.